had my kids over when I lived in Westerville, and I think they were like 6 and 7 or 6 and 8 or something, like 6.5, 8 or something like that. And um, trying to do the whole dad thing, right? I'm trying to do the whole dad thing and be the person, in their lives, and so they don't forget about me and replace me with someone else, because that's where my ego was, because I so wanted everything in my being at that time to be similar in just any aspect of what I had with my dad after that kind of relationship. And we're getting ready to get dinner. Getting ready to get dinner. And at this time, I'm working for ADW. I'm delivering car parts. Um, and I make very small money. My expenses are really high. And I'm in tight. I'm in tight, man. That's all I can say. I'm in tight. It's day to day, week to week kind of thing. And I wanted to have them over, and I was always like figuring out how much I could put on a credit card, so I could have them get, because they were used to everything they have, because they have everything, and they're used to having all these choices and stuff, and I didn't want that to impact on their experience with me and make me look bad that I couldn't provide what me mom and papa could and my ex could and stuff like that. It's hard when you're competing against someone who has everything. And so, they came over and we're thinking about dinner. And and I made it so I had $26 because I would have to buy them a yogurt, a snack, a yogurt, carrots, celery. Um, I'd get them hot dogs, or I'd make sandwiches, and they have to have fruit. Um, it's all these specific things, and they had to have chips. So I had like $27 to spend for groceries, and I spent that. And and I started saving their change for them. Started saving their change for them. I was trying to make a piggy bank for them. I said it was tight. It was tight. Very tight. I uh, Jonah liked Marco's Pizza, or Pizza or Little Caesars or something like that, and it was more expensive than I ever planned for. And at bef- this moment, I kind of knew that they were going to see me in a different light ever, ever again. They were always going to see me in a different light, as a fuck up, as somebody who couldn't hold it together, as someone that couldn't hold a job, as someone that couldn't keep a family together, as a failure, as a failure. Um, we got all the change out, and unfortunately, I had to raid their piggy bank that I started creating for them too. So this is very personal. I just I just want you guys to understand what brought me to where I am today, kind of thing. So put all the change out, and it's like 9.75, and we needed like 11.25 for a pizza, so they could have a pizza. And Jonah's like, "Okay, Dad, where's the rest of the money?" I'm like, "Jonah, I can't afford it." And Jonah's like, "What does that mean?" And Noah's like, "What does that mean?" I'm barely maintaining a roof over my head, barely making car payments, barely having enough gas to go back and forth to work to make my very $5 an hour, $9 an hour average out job at the time. Oh, also, my ex told me I was stupid because I was trying to work at Harry and David and also deliver car parts. And she's like, "You're never going to see your sons. You're just never going to see your sons." And I'm like, "I'm not doing it not to see them. I'm doing it to see them." But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So Jonah's like, "I don't understand, Dad." Noah's like, "I don't understand, Dad." I go, "What don't you understand? What does can't afford it mean?" It means, boys, I don't have enough money for the pizza. But why don't you? What's wrong? Why don't you have the money? I go, you guys live in a world of 0.005% of the world. 0.005. Think about that. You have everything, and everything you have no want or need or desire for anything, and everything comes to you. Dad lives paycheck to paycheck, if that. I can't afford it means I don't have the resources. I don't have the resources to get a pizza for you guys tonight. I don't have any more money. I don't have any more change. I don't have any more. I'm using your guys' piggy bank that I wanted to save for you so I could buy a pizza. I don't have it. This is the same weekend I pulled up to get my Imitrex, and they told me it was $96, and I told them to keep it. And they're like, "Dad, what are you going to do when you get a migraine?" I'm like, "I'm not worried about that right now. I just wanted you guys here. I can't spend $96 on Imitrex and then $27 at the grocery store and then $11 on a pizza. I can't. I don't have that. I don't have that." I got my car repoed. I got my car repoed. And every Wednesday, I was supposed to have dinner with them. And religiously, it was like every Wednesday dinner, that's the only thing I was connecting and solid with me. And I got my car repoed. And keep in mind, I lived about 10 minutes, 10 minutes away from a Wendy's that they always, like Wendy's. Since I got my car repoed, she didn't drop them off that weekend. She didn't drop off that Wednesday. She's like, "You don't have a car. What if something happens?" And I'm like, "I got a phone. I got neighbors. I got Wendy's is right there." I go, "Sherry," after 3 or 4 years, I'm like, "Please don't do this. Please don't do this. I just want to see them. It's my time with them. It's just my time with them. Don't make me feel any worse after my car got repoed that I can't see my boys." But she didn't let me see them. I think the first thing they said when my ex picked them up that weekend was, "Dad couldn't afford a pizza, but it was okay." Ooh, they're two different worlds. And to try to get them to understand you can't afford something, you have to work for it, you have to earn it, you have to strive. It takes toil, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes expertise, it takes effort. Everything's handed to you. You don't give a fuck. You don't care. You don't understand. You don't grasp anything. They never heard someone couldn't afford anything except that night at that time trying to get a pizza using their change. I felt like this big. This big. And then I got the car repoed, and then I didn't see him that weekend, and I didn't see him that Wednesday either. I just sat there and cried. I just sat there and cried in an empty garage after I got my car repoed, and I can't see my kids because my life has been so fucked up since my divorce, and I cannot get out of a hole. And I had people that loved me and cared about me, and I was so screwed up. I was so hell bent on trying to be a dad. I wanted something that would never, ever happen. But I did not realize it. I did not realize it, and I hurt everybody around me in the stupid ass pursuit of trying to make these kids understand that you come from a working class father. You should be proud. You should be proud of work done. You should have pride in what you do. A decent wage for decent work. You know, it's just. She laughed, and I sat there, and I just sat there, and I cried, and cried, and cried after they went. I had never felt so much as a failure at that moment in my life. So much. Not, not. It was even, when my son said he didn't want to see me, that was not even close to what I was feeling at that. I was so low. My ex says, "What are you gonna do? You don't have a car now. What are you gonna do? You don't have a car." I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying." They go to private school. It costs as much as college. I couldn't afford a fucking $11.25 pizza from damn Little Caesars, and that made them see me in a whole different light. Not everything else that I tried, not everything else that I was trying to do, not everything else I had to do to even see them without anybody there, and see, and have them over. And then the pillow wasn't too, the pillows weren't this, and the pillows were, and the detergent, you got to use this and not that, and what detergent are you using? Because I'm just like, Jesus Christ, just let me be a fucking dad. Can you just let me be a dad? Just give me some freedom to be a father to my sons without all this bullshit. I've never had a normal relationship with my kids. I never had that father son. I always felt like I was getting micromanaged and analyzed and like probed all the time. They like one time she's like, "Oh, you ran them too hard. They're really tired." I'm like, "They're kids. They should be tired." But another time, she said, "Oh, he just cut his little chin. That's fine. There's some stitches. We're going to plastic surgery." And I was like, "When? Why? How?" "Oh, it's fine. It's okay." I would be a different person if things turned out. Like I said, there's something as I always thought it'd be. I thought it'd be a good father. I thought that'd really work out for me, and man, she didn't want it. The family didn't want it. They just didn't want it. They wanted two kids that were Jewish, and they got it. And they didn't want anything to do with me. I hope she sees this too. I have no problem with her seeing this. I I never thought somebody could be so cold ever in my life. Especially someone that was my beshevret that I swore in front of the bima. She swore in front of the bima under chuppah in front of the open Torah, open ark with the Torahs. All because IT. I didn't have a stable job. All because IT stable job. Didn't matter that she taught. Excuse me. Didn't matter that her job got her first person view of what happens with broken families. Didn't care. Did not care. Did not care. She broke up the family because I didn't have a steady job like everybody else. Yeah. Yep. All right. Do some good for humanity.